Yo, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Power Plays Palace. It's your boy, man. We doing it and we trying to get it right. So it's gonna be a beautiful day today. So let's see what we got going on here today. So let's look at the chart yesterday and let's see what we got here. All right. Oh boy, SPY opened up. She in the pre-market, right there in the pre-market. Yesterday, man, it ran all the way up to 697 in the pre-market, 697.29, and then started to pull back down. Whenever you see SPY hit one of these all-time highs, you can expect a pullback. And if you can go back to the day before, it was pushing up all day Monday, and then it kind of pulled back a little bit pre-market yesterday, but then it shot up in the pre-market. It ran all the way up, and then for the rest of the day, it came back down, established a low around 692 early in the day, but it pulled back up in that 695 range, came down again, tapped on the 692.31. I want y'all to know this is a previous day high or low. Whenever you see the purple lines, and the reason I leave these lines on the chart is strictly because of that, so we can see that. And we want to know, these are areas, are key areas, and then we watch these areas. But the reason, look at the chart. You can see it on the chart. The blue lines are pre-market highs and lows, previous pre-market highs and lows, and the purple lines are previous days highs and lows. So as you can see, it's still respect. You see action in those areas, man. It's for a reason, because those were key areas at some point, and so you'll see that. You saw that yesterday. If you like with me with my chart already having some of these lines already on it because of, I saved those lines from previous days. When you see the SPY going into these areas, I know I talk in the group about how, when you see SPY going into these areas, I expect some type of reaction. And if I'm in a trade, and I have my levels set, on the chart, but if I'm in a trade and I see SPY going into these areas, I start paying attention close to how it reacts, because these are areas where SPY have reacted because it established pre-market highs and lows, or either previous days highs and lows, which is how we base our trading, on, I do at least, on pre-market highs and lows and previous days highs and lows. And so, when you see those areas, you keep them on your chart, you get to see that stuff. I know I did a little bit more teaching right then. You can get all of that over in power plays. If you come join the group, we'll go over these type of things with each other and with you. This is how we got better at choosing strategies that work. We try to establish some levels and we respect those things, and it's worked out for us for the most part. And so you see yesterday, SPY was just respecting levels, but it was moving up and down. So you had opportunity to make, was it 1, 2, 3, it's a little choppy right there, but that's still almost $1 range. So if you're playing one candle, so I say you could have probably made 4 decent trades yesterday. And look right here at 3:30 when SPY ran back up from 691. That was another $2 move. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 decent trades you could have got yesterday, and at different times of the day, and really did some damage. So let's look at the chart. Let's look at the chart from yesterday that we put up yesterday. And as you can see, we was looking for a breakout long above 694.84, entry at 694.90, 695, and run up to 697.20. Now the crazy part about it is, I do these charts, in the morning, but that happened pre-market. It went all the way up to 697.29, which was the pre-market high yesterday. After we put the chart up, it did that pre-market. It actually went up there. You can see it right here. It actually went directly to that point on the chart. You can see it right there. That's where it went. And so we actually, this would have happened during the market opens. It just did it. If it would have happened during the market open, everybody would hit that level. And then you would have turned around if you would have played it back down. If it pushed into the 694.70 range on the way back down, which is crazy, because you could have caught this on the way back down too. But in the market, when it opened at 696, and then 696.38, and then it pulled back. Then it pulled back from there. So you could have had a pretty decent trade right there. The market open, because you would have got in at 694 in this area over here where this blue line at. This area you would have been entering, and you still could have got another $2 move and played it back up to that line and played that. You could have played that actual play twice. You could have played that play twice during the market yesterday. Twice. You could have played that twice yesterday during the market. So you could have hit this level twice yesterday on the put side. So if you play the chart, follow the chart, man, you should have had a pretty decent day. And if you have your levels and discipline, you should have been okay also. So that's what we did yesterday. Let's look at the chart for the day. Let's see what we got here, and let's see what we did, man. Good job if you played that yesterday. So for today, what we got is well, if SPY breaks and hold above 693.18, I'm looking for it to try to push back up into the 693.25, 693.60 area, and put me a stop loss below 692.70, and then I'll target 694.40, 695.30, and 696.05, and then we'll go from there with the calls. And on the put side, if it pushes up toward the 692.80, 693.20 area, and it stalls out, we'll watch for that rejection and put our stop above 693.75 with our target 692, 691, 35, and 690.50. And that's if they fail to reclaim and push above into those highs. If it try to go back up and retest the higher highs that was set this week. You know, it's Wednesday, hump day. You know, it could happen. You never know. But, you know, that's what we're going to do. I try not to chase that first candle, but the last couple of days, you could have played the first candle if that's what you wanted to do. And you would have been right if you would have played in the direction it went. So that, you know, you could have done that. But I try not to do that. I try to see what's going on. Keep me some tight stop losses and try to play off on the levels and take off on them. But that's our SPY trade plan for the day. We're going to be bearish below 691.35 and bullish above 693.18. And that's a pretty good area right there. So we're going to call that the chop area. But if you want to play up in there, you know, try to be careful and keep some real tight stop losses and don't walk away from your computer. It could cost you some money. Now, if this help you prep and get ready, hit the like button, you know, subscribe, and then, you know, share the video. And if you want to trade with us, you know, come over to Power Plays and join us and have some fun with us, man. We over here daily and in our trade group and our Discord. So you can come over and join us as our community continues to grow. But definitely come over and join us. Enjoy the trade, man. And if you want to learn, ask questions. You know, we'll go over stuff with you and show you what we're looking at and how we choosing a lot of this stuff. And then we'll build from there. So it's a lot of other things we do other than the SPY and the group. But, you know, that's what we do. And we put it out because a lot of people trade the S&P. Is one of those movers, something you can get in and out, a lot of liquidity all the time. So, you know, as long as you're playing it safe and doing what you need to do, you should be all right with it. And so we putting these trades up. These are our projections, not financial advice. But if you know, if it helps you out, man, like, share, and subscribe, man. But that's our trades for the day, man. It's Power Plays, man. We out.